Welcome to Rhuthun, one of my favourite places in northeastern Wales, an old market town where history really lives and breathes. I'm in St Peter's Square in the town centre, and amongst these charming historic buildings we find one of the town's most intriguing relics, MAEN HUAIL, the Stone of Huail. At first glance this might just seem like a limestone boulder sat beside the pavement, but there is a legend that connects it with the greatest of all Britons, King Arthur, and the tragic story of rivalry and pride. A version of the story comes down to us from the first half of the 16th century by the chronicler Ellis Griffith. In this version of the story, Huail had mocked Arthur while Arthur was dancing in ladies' clothes, having injured his knee. The offending words were supposedly "Da iawn yw dawnsio felly, oni bair glin. This dancing were alright if it were not for the knee." Having heard this mocking, Arthur brought Huail to his court and reproached him severely. Arthur then took Huail into Rhuthun and beheaded him on a stone in the marketplace, which still bears the name MAEN HUAIL to this day. One of many great Arthurian legends that we have in Wales. Now legend has it that Huail himself was the brother of the well-known Saint Gildas, the author of The Ruin and Conquest of Britain, one of the best sources on Dark Age Britain, but a source that perhaps curiously doesn't mention King Arthur at all. Why was this? Well, there are legends to try and explain this, connecting it with Gildas' supposed brother Huail. The Life of St Gildas by Caradog of Llancarvan, a late saint's life of dubious historical value, but which does corroborate this idea of an enmity between Huail and Arthur. Huail was a Pictish warrior, the son of Caw of Prydain, and was an active warrior that raided Arthur's territory from the north of Britain. In that version of the story, Arthur had pursued Huail to the Isle of Man and had killed him there. The writer Giraldus Cambrensis, in the late 12th century, gives us a story that tries to explain the lack of historical sources on Arthur. Well, apparently Gildas destroyed a number of outstanding books that praised Arthur, following his brother's murder. And as a result, you will find no book which gives an authentic account of that great prince. There's a little bit more that we know about Huail from the Welsh tradition. He's consistently portrayed as a fierce warrior that wouldn't submit to a lord. The Arthurian prose tale Culhwch ac Olwen has Huail as a character. Huail was at Arthur's court, and apparently nid yswynus erioed yn llaw arglwydd. He never submitted to a lord's hand. The Welsh triads, the trioedd, also describes Huail as one of the tri thaleithog cad Ynys Prydain, the three diademed battle leaders of the island of Britain, that is. Now before I finish, I'm going to have a quick wander over to this side of the market square, because we have yr hen Lys Barn, the old courthouse. It was not just a courthouse, it was also a jail and the place of execution where they had the gallows. This building dates to 1401, but its predecessor on the site was actually the first building that was attacked by Owain Glyndwr's rebellion and burned to the ground in the year 1400. Owain Glyndwr proclaimed himself as the Prince of Wales. His rebellion went on to about 1415, and at one point occupied most of Wales. He had a great vision for Wales too, did Owain Glyndwr, but sadly it didn't last, and the English eventually clawed back their rule. And this is a statue of that great resistance leader, Owain Glyndwr, in the nearby town of Corwen. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'll be coming back soon with some more visits. Diolch o galon, thanks very much.